Hey guys, what's up? Sorry, it's been quite a long time since I've posted on here. The first thing I was gonna say is, if you guys are not following my wife, Shannon Rose, which I think probably most of you guys are, go follow her. I'm gonna leave the links down in the description box because I'm always on those videos and we have so much going on. That's why usually I'm not making a bunch of my own videos anymore because we're kind of doing a bunch of stuff on that stuff. So anyways, with that said, I wanted to give you guys kind of like a real sort of a personal fertility update, thoughts, feeling from my kind of like specific point of view. And like I said, if you guys watch our vlogs with my wife Shannon, you guys probably know the majority of this, but this was something that I had thought about the other day. We went in to the fertility clinic again. So for those of you that don't know, we've been going through a lot of, fertility issues and stuff, and it's all been basically filmed and everything on our vlogging channel. But with that said, there's something else that I don't think people really talk about that I kind of wanted to bring up. So Shannon and I are going through a lot of this fertility stuff, and I think that when people get together or they first meet or whatever else, you're not really thinking about all these scenarios of what if this and what if that and everything else. But when you get like closer to like marriage, or you talk about getting married with somebody, I think that it's really important to go over and discuss a lot of important things in life. And Shannon and I had discussed a lot of different things like in life, and we were, together for many years before we got married. But there's still stuff that comes up that you don't really anticipate or think about, I mean, hopefully before you get married, you talk about things like maybe where you want to live, like what you kind of want out of life, how many kids you might want, or if you don't want kids, do you want your own? Would you want to adopt? There's so many different things and feelings on, religion and all this kind of stuff. So, obviously when a couple is together, you get married, you hope that you grow in the same direction. And sometimes, a lot of things can take place, and there's such a high divorce rate, in at least in America, for various different reasons. But one thing that I wanted to talk about was, because it's kind of like fertility addressed or fertility based, is fortunately, like I said, Shannon and I have a lot of the same, or we have the same views on the fertility stuff. But if you were getting married and you kind of just had, agreed and said, oh, I would like 2 kids, and your partner says, oh, I'd like 2 kids and we'll have our own. That's great and all if that actually happens. A lot of people can plan that out and they can kind of, get that pretty easily. They have their 2 kids, and then the woman goes in and get fixed, or the guy gets fixed or whatever. And I'm saying like vasectomy and stuff like that. So then they're done. They have their 2 kids and everything's, cool. If that doesn't happen and you have to start going through fertility stuff, it's something that I don't even know or if a lot of people discuss in advance. You just kind of assume like, oh, do you want kids? Yeah, I want kids. Okay, cool, like done deal. And then it would just be like, well, how many kids would you want? 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. So when it comes down to like the fertility stuff, you have to think to yourself like, okay, well, how far, based on possibly your religious beliefs or your beliefs in science or lack thereof or whatever, you'd have to make a decision at that point of, okay, do I believe that IUI is okay, or do I believe that IVF is okay, or would I not want to engage in either of those things for whatever kind of beliefs, and I'd want to adopt? Or if I couldn't have my own kids naturally at all, would you just say, I'm not having any kids at all, it's not meant to be? My point is a lot of people, I don't think, have these discussions before they're together. And like I said, Shannon and I are on the same page, but it just popped into my head because I think of other people that are in our same possible situations, how difficult that it could be with 2 very strong opposing beliefs. I don't really have a whole moral to this thing. It's more of, I think, a help for couples or people that are thinking about getting married or thinking about, the discussion of being together long term. Not necessarily you don't have to be married or something, but kind of on the same things. And I don't think you can prepare your entire life of every single scenario and say, you know, okay, let's both write down 50 crazy scenarios and let's see if we match up, because there are things that are going to happen in life that you just don't know or you can't plan for. I mean, if you did that, you'd drive yourself crazy. And I mean, you'd be like, well, what if somebody got hurt? What if somebody died? What if somebody got, you know, became handicapped? What if we couldn't have kids? We couldn't. I mean, you drive yourself crazy. But I think some of the big core things always need to be talked about and make sure that you're on, you know, similar pages before, you know, you go through things. So anyway, so that's kind of a little thing that I was saying. And regarding to our fertility stuff, I try to really, if you guys watch the vlogs and everything else, you guys know, like, I'm a pretty mellow, like a lot of times. I get really excited, sometimes I'm all like hopped up and stuff. But for the most part, I try to like stay that even keel. And I think that, how am I trying to say this? It's not that I have a lack of emotion at times, but I just try to keep, like, I don't know, sometimes I hate the roller coaster, the up and down, or sometimes, you know, I'll just kind of like keep it in and just try to like stay like this, even though in my mind I might be going up and down and up and down. But, you know, the other day I got frustrated when, you know, we had gone in and we had spent a bunch of money, you know, again, and we're doing more procedures, and my poor wife has to do, I mean, she has to do all the procedures. She has to do all the ultrasounds and take all the pills and all the shots. I mean, it's just crazy. And, you know, I love her so much, and it sucks that, you know, I can't always do more to like help in that scenario, because I know she does so much of this stuff for us. But with that said, I know I was like, emotions were just kind of up and down and up and down. And, you know, it's just where you just kind of like get like frustrated with stuff, and you're like, I just don't even know what to necessarily think anymore. If this works, would you want to do it again? Would we be able to do it again? Like, how long would we need to wait? Or do we just say, hey, you know what, this is just like not supposed to happen? So there's a lot of different things that you have to kind of soul search for yourself, and then even with like your, you know, partner too. And, you know, hopefully you guys like come together on the same plane, basically. So you guys are kind of like thinking, you know, similar to, you know, basically thinking the same stuff. But anyways, then you know, being together and stuff is always about compromise and stuff too. So anyways, my point and takeaway is, you know, the fertility stuff's been a lot, like that's been like one of our big things that we've been going through. If you guys are not following on the other channels, then please do so, because I apologize. I know I don't get on here very much at all or anything. But when I get chances to do, like, I'll want to try and do that and kind of like jump in and kind of give you guys like a heads up and stuff of what's going on. But anyway, so not really a whole rhyme or reason for today or whatever, just kind of thoughts on that, and, you know, stuff that was kind of, you know, running around in my head the other day as far as, you know, other couples that could be having to deal with and like go through some of the stuff that we're going through. It's a lot, and hopefully, you know, people can, you know, get on, make sure that they're on the same page and stuff like that. It's just thinking of scenarios in advance to possibly prepare yourself. I'm 39 years old, and for, well, I just say, I mean, I wasn't having, you know, sex when I was like a little kid or something, but I'll just say for 35 years, 34 years, or whatever of my life, I was actively not trying to get anybody pregnant, or anybody, like any other girlfriends or girls that I dated or whatever. It's just something that you do, and so you just think like, oh my gosh, I got to be so freaked out that I'm gonna get somebody pregnant, and then when you're like, okay, cool, I'm all ready to, and it's like, oh no, sorry, you're like, what the hell, you know? It's like, what the, you know, it just kind of like throws you off, because you just assume that it's to be expected, that it's so easy to get pregnant, and it can be. I mean, some people get pregnant, they're like, oh, like first time I had sex, I got pregnant. But anyways, it's just different things. Like, I'm going on, rambling on now, but you know, just keep in mind and just be prepared for all these kinds of different things that can occur in life. And I don't know, that's kind of like about it, I guess. So anyways, I will talk with you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry it's been so long. And like I said, make sure to follow our vlog stuff and the other channels and stuff. You guys will see me a lot more, and me chiming in and giving my thoughts and stuff like that on there. So I will talk with you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.